everybody, and welcome to another beautiful episode of Anae's Food Show. It is my pleasure to do these shows, and I hope you enjoy them just as much as I enjoy making it for you. On the show today, we're working with chicken. You know, you cannot go wrong with chicken. Let me not say never, because sometimes you can go wrong with chicken. However, in this instance, we're working with chicken, pineapple, and a few other spices to put together something that is mouth-watering and delicious. So don't go very far, stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Anae's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
To get our dish started, we will heat up our pan. We're working on a chicken, sort of like a chicken curry. I really hesitate to call it chicken curry because, you know, we're using curry powder. However, it may be slightly different from what Indians would call it chicken curry. So just bear with us. It's just because I'm putting curry powder in it. And it's also going to accompany, we'll have some pineapple in the dish as well. So I have about a quarter cup of oil in here to start off. And I turn the heat on first to heat the pan. So when your oil gets into the pan, it is already hot. So to get this started, as I normally do, we'll get our onions in for the onions to begin to saute. And I just reduce the flame a little bit here while I chop garlic. So I'm using about 6 garlic cloves. I love garlic. Now, the essence about a curry type dish is that it's really strong and it's really aromatic. That's using a lot of spices in it. And curries are primarily Indian, Indian, Pakistan do have curries. Those are like their traditional dishes. We have a garlic chopped and ready for the pot. So what I'll do then is just get the garlic into it. And what I'm going to do is add my spices in so that it sort of toasts. When you put your spices in, it toasts it and it releases the aromatic oils from the spice. Now, the difference between spice and herb. I'm not using an herb right now. We have conmanju, which is basil. We have parsley or parsley. We have celery also, which together most people call it green spice. Now those are really herbs and not a spice. Spices are grains and grains and seeds. And so when you toast them, it's the oils in the seed that gives the flavor. So when you toast it, it will starts to release the oils, and you get a better flavor coming through. So what we have here, I have just about a couple teaspoons of each. Make sure I use the right measuring. So I have 2 teaspoons of black pepper. We already ground the black pepper, but we'll still go ahead and toast it. I have about 2 teaspoons of black pepper. We have what we call dill seed or aneve, rice spice. So we have just a couple of teaspoons of that. And then what we commonly have as country onion. This is where the game changes a little bit. This is a spice that is common, it's unique to Cameroon and West Africa in particular. So we use it primarily for achu soup and some of our turning plantain and all of that. So I use it a lot in my cooking because it is a flavor enhancer. Now I have coriander, which I also have a teaspoon. Coriander may be a little bit difficult to find. By the end of the show, I will show you the seed of the coriander. You can find it in some supermarkets around Bamenda, as well as in Yaoundé. You can find it also. And so just stir that and let the spices toast a little bit. Now, I wish you could really smell this, kind of getting all the spices. Now, I'm adding curry powder in it. Now, about two teaspoons. I'll actually add a little bit more than 2 teaspoons. Curry powders that we use here, really, curry powders are blends of different spices that come together to give a powder. Now, what I've noticed is the different the powders that we have in Cameroon, really most of them are not the best because it's not our spice to begin with, it's imported. But there are a few that are good quality. You want to make sure that it's the quality, the color to begin with is bright and yellow. And the key components in this, you have turmeric, you have coriander, which I just put in here, you have fenugreek is also the other spice that makes up curry powder. So I've toasted it well. Now I'm going to add the chicken to it at this point so that the chicken begins to get the flavors go into it. And if you've noticed, I did not marinate the chicken before cooking it. So it's just the cut up chicken. And we just put it all right in, including the gizzard. Very important. Okay. So we just let the chicken be on the seasoning and it would brown and then start to release its juices. And while it's getting brown and just sort of releasing the juices and getting introduced to the different spices in it, I'm just going to put the lid on, and then we prepare the pineapple to go with the dish. So just put in about a couple of teaspoons of salt, and then at the end we'll balance it all and make sure that we have a very good, spicy and delicious pot of chicken curry. We'll allow the chicken to release its own juices, and we'll just reduce the heat just a little bit and we let it simmer so it begins the cooking process. Then we'll prepare our pineapple for this dish. To get our pineapple, you may have one that is, this one is ripe, which is good, and you may have one which is not so ripe, that is also fine. But it's good to have a pineapple that is a little bit ripe. It has some sweetness to it. That is much preferred type of pineapple. So just cut that down. Cut it out. And then we quarter the pineapple. Yes, we're going to use the whole pineapple for this. Actually, I'll just rearrange my things here a little bit so I don't have a crowded board. Set this here. Take out the core. And do our slices. So we want to end up with chunks. We don't want to end up with like really tiny slices. We want to end up with some chunks of pineapple. And we'll just prepare all like this until we're ready to put it into our sauce. See, my pineapple here is really ripe. So, being that it's something we're cooking, it's not like we're using it for fruit salad or for something, you know, just to serve raw, just to serve as pineapple. This would be too soft for that. So everything has its time and place in the kitchen. So don't throw it out. You can use it to make your pineapple chicken pineapple curry. Okay. All right, let's see how our chicken is doing. Okay. See, the juices are beginning to come out. It's taking its time, but nonetheless, it will come out. And now with the little bit of juice coming out from the chicken, we can easily coat the chicken with the spices. So it all gets together and we stir it well and it blends well. Don't worry, it's not about the length of time per se, it's about the right time to do and to add. So it's going to add very well. Ay, the smell already is something. It's really good. It's really delicious too. So we're just going to go ahead now and cut our pineapple into the dish. With juices as well, you just put your juices right in. The juice is actually going to help tenderize our chicken as well. So if you use country fowl, we know that country fowl is usually tough to cook. One way of cooking it is adding some acid into it, and that acid helps to break down the protein and makes it soft. So if you have a chicken, or if you get country fowl, we want cook them, and it over strong, just add small acid. If you add like pineapple, if you add orange, and your country fowl go taste fine, it go soft, and you enjoy them. So in this case, I'm adding pineapple. I have a spot there that is not so good. I'm adding pineapple, and actually pineapple has an enzyme that helps with the breakdown of protein. And so if sometimes you're eating protein a lot, or you just feel constipated, pineapple will help to bring you some relief, because it has that enzyme in it that helps to make you feel better. So we'll just stir that, and see now the juices on the pineapple are also there. And what we'll do now, we've done everything. We have the seasoning, we have the curry, we have the pineapple. We'll just put the lid on, cover it, and let time take its course and cook for us. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Welcome back to the show. We have our chicken cooking with pineapple getting ready. Now we've done all we can. It just has to come together in the pot and it will be delicious. Now I'm just going to prepare a side dish or a side dessert. It's more like a dessert. So after you've had your curry with yams or plantains or rice or whatever you choose, I think we're going to serve it with rice. That is the traditional way of eating curry in India or in other parts of the world, is curry with rice. So we're going to serve that with rice. But after you've had that, you need a dessert. So I'm going to do something here very quick, and using some seasonal fruit as well as sweetened condensed milk, some honey, and put something together which you would love. So to get that started, we have sweetened condensed milk, which is, it's not the evaporated milk. Evaporated milk, a brand that we all know, is a pig milk that is thin. This is the sweetened condensed milk. Some people call it the milk, that milk where they draw, that one. It already has sugars in it and that. So we'll have, here is about a cup of that milk in there. And we'll just sort of whisk that. And we have put about half a cup of honey. I'm using the Oku white honey because it has its unique flavor, and it's about half a cup of that also. We'll just mix that together, really blend it well. Those of you who are blender happy, meaning that you like to put everything in a blender, yes, you can put this in a blender and you do it. But it's good to just beat it up a little bit like this, get it fluffy, get some air into it so it's not so heavy. Just whip it. So you see the bubbles developing, is getting a lighter color. And in whipping that now, we'll just add just a hint of ginger. So just, you know, if you must measure about 1/8 of a teaspoon or even less. This is just less, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So ginger helps to your digestion. Fruit helps, all of that helps. I don't know about the sugar, it's just sweet. So it's just a pleasure thing to eat. So we'll just really whip that well. And then I have about 4 mangoes. They're not very large mangoes, just small sized mangoes, about 4. So if you say 2 large mangoes. And we're just gonna add as we go, not adding all of it at once, but we add about half of this first. And mix it in. And then let's just add a little bit more mango. You know, it's mango season, what the heck. If mangoes are out of season, you can always use pineapple puree, you can use pawpaw, you can actually use bananas, apples, not so much unless you really blend it well. But it will give you a different type of texture though, even you blend the apples, it will give you a different type of texture. So don't mind me, I will add just another hint of a little bit more ginger. It's not going to be too gingery, so there we go. Just mix that in well so all our ginger disperses. So we're just whipping in air into it, just to make it nice and foamy. There we go. You can see how you got some foam coming into it. The color is getting lighter. And then to top it off, we're going to add some lime juice, just about half of a lime. If you do much more than that, it might get too soury, and it actually would take away the effect of it being a nice dessert into it being a sour, puckering thingy. My seeds did not come out at all, but there we go. If you think or you feel that you added too much lime, just add a little bit more honey into it. I feel that I added too much lime. So I'll just add a little bit of honey and that should balance it out. And you say, how do you know without tasting? Well, when you're making something, sometimes you just have an instinct. There's what's called a kitchen instinct. And it's just that instinct that I put too much in it that made me change it. So let me taste it and then balance it off. Perfect. So there we go. I just pour it. Now it's more like a dessert drink, or smoothie, or fruit smoothie. So there we go. So don't go very far. When we come back, we are going to taste this. Our curry will be ready and everything will be ready. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Anna's Food Show, your favorite food and lifestyle show. The assurance for your well-being.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We have our chicken and it's been cooking down nicely, beautifully browned, and the pineapple enables the chicken to cook faster as well as adds to the browning of this dish, and it smells so wonderful and very delicious. So I have with me on the set a nice young man who is willing to come and taste this and tell us exactly what he thinks about this dish. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And can you just tell us who you are?
Well, I'm called Ngala Justice. I'm a cinematographer, an editor, and a colorist.
A cinematographer, editor,
colorist.
What exactly is a colorist? Help us out. What is a colorist? What does a colorist do?
A colorist is an expert in color grading. When it comes to video, the end product of the video, color grading. I think that's the last part of the video.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. So it's not only about taking the video, it's also about adjusting the color. Okay, and making it look beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. So you're about to taste this dish. We have, actually earlier on when I was preparing this dish, I said we're going to serve it with rice. However, we're going to serve it with yams. We are in Cameroon. Even though it's not a traditionally Cameroonian dish per se, but we're going to serve it with yams, which is our own. How's that?
That's good.
Sounds good. Okay. Now, without much ado, I'm just going to serve it up here for you. Chicken with pineapple and lots of spices. So, I'm going to turn that off.
Okay.
And when you're done with that, then we're also going to taste the dessert, which I prepared earlier to accompany this dish.
Let me start
With the yams, okay.
First spicy.
It's quite hot, isn't it? Like
Very hot.
hot, off the pot hot. While you're tasting that, let me get out a dessert. I have to chill it.
I think this is the best meal I've ever tasted.
Oh wow, that's a compliment. Thank you very much. So
It's so spicy.
yes, so we had a lot of aromatic spices in it
Wow.
to really make it what it should be. Curry is something that has a lot of spices. In some places, even you eat a curry and you start sweating. And one thing I did not do was add chili powder or hot pepper to it.
Okay.
Yes, but normally you can. Yeah. Are you a hot pepper eater?
No.
Okay, so that's good. We just end with the spices.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we may set that aside, and I have this. I have to chill it a bit. Yeah. So it can be a juice, pudding. I don't know what it's an in-between kind of thing. You know, it's got mangoes, it's got honey, it's got ginger, it's got sweetened condensed milk to get some sweetness to it, and we just top it off with some coconut just for beauty, just to make it look good. See. Like that.
Can't wait to taste it.
There you go.
Thank you. Well, look at that.
So what does the combination look taste like?
I think I don't even know what to say. I think my face is going to drop. The viewers what it tastes like. It's amazing.
And I think if we just chilled a little bit more, it would even be.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your honest opinion.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you on the show, and I'm sure you'll come again.
Always.
Okay, excellent. So I'll hold you to that. Okay. Thank you for watching the show today. I hope you've been able to learn a little bit about a different dimension of preparing chicken and a very quick dessert that you can have. Actually, it's even more than it. It can be a drink, a fruit drink or whatever. You can have it any time of the day. It's really refreshing if it's chilled. But whatsoever, thank you so much for watching the show. You're a great audience and I appreciate you all very much. Please do feel free to send us a message by email at amundi@gmail.com, Facebook at Annie's Food Show, Instagram and YouTube. Stay tuned for our next show and bon appetit.